Hey everybody. As many of you know, I've recently teamed up with Miyagi, one of the world's top sound designers, to be able to bring you a 4-week online course in synthesis and sound design. This next video you're about to see is a full-length free preview from the course on using self-oscillating filters to be able to create crazy effect sounds. Now, if you haven't heard of Miyagi, he's probably designed sound packs for many of the synths you're using and works with some of the top and most popular synthesizers in the world, designing sound banks and helping them in the final development stages of building the actual plugins. He's a stone cold pro, and I'm really excited for you to see this next video. If you want more information on his course, just click the link below in the description field and enjoy the video.
So next up is a fun topic that allows for some instant gratuity when it comes to sound design: filter self-oscillation. A quick note before we get started on anything though: a self-oscillating filter can create some incredible volume spikes and can seriously damage your speakers, your ears, and your relationships with loved ones if not used correctly. Be very careful when experimenting with this until you know what to expect. This is an aspect of synthesizers that can yield some pretty amazing results, and is the foundation of a lot of really cool tones. You may have seen the term self-oscillating filter listed as a feature on many synths, or perhaps this is actually the first time you're hearing about it, but guaranteed you've heard the noise. A filter on an old analog synth is a nice and dirty circuit. Many synths, mini Moogs as an example, lose a little bit of volume as the resonance gets cranked, but once you hit a certain high volume, a mildly pleasant, or unpleasant depending on who you are, squeal starts coming out. In this case, there's no signal from the oscillators going to the filter, but it's still generating sound. What's happening here is a small amount of noise still passes into the filter and causes the filter to overdrive itself and create feedback, which is then added back into the filter's input and becomes louder, creating a sine wave. At this point, the pitch of this new tone is controlled by the filter cutoff, in much the same way as the pitch of an oscillator is controlled by a tuning or pitch knob. What's cool about this is that we now have a much wider and often smoother range of control over the filter's cutoff than we would have over an oscillator's pitch. If we want to get very wide-ranging, as in subsonic to nearly out of range of human hearing effects, modulating the filter's cutoff from low to high or high to low gives us a huge range of expression that we might not get anywhere else, as a synth's main oscillators may either have their pitch locked to semitones or may be adjustable over only a small range by the pitch knob. Small amounts of LFO or envelope control, either alone or in combination, can yield sci-fi sounds and spacey effects, and adding some spatial effects can instantly allow you to create some sounds that will be recognizable from many electronic tracks. Here's a really short electro-y blip, followed by a long diving tone, and a couple other variations in between, and these are all just being created by envelope control over filter cutoff on a self-oscillating filter. Here's the same diving tone with an LFO applied as well. A self-oscillating filter is also a great source of a sine wave, and can be used to generate things like 808-style bass drums, subsonic rumbles, or these electro-y blips. Tuned correctly and set to track the keyboard fully, you have a playable sine oscillator that you can use as a sub. Self-oscillating filters are a great sound design tool. They're hugely useful in the creation of sound effects, but can also provide a big, warm sine wave tone if you need one, and can be tuned across the keyboard to track like any other oscillator. Modulated, they provide lots of expressive possibilities, and are completely indispensable in the creation of professional-sounding tracks.